Hey, listeners, I wrote this intro when another guest was lined up to be on this episode, but they canceled. So I do reference that guest, not our current guest. Okay, on to the show. Oh, yeah. Today on the dirt bike track, we learned that men with most altruistic intentions, individuals who care for their loved ones more than life itself, can fall victim to greed, corruption, and maybe, but not always, mass murder via bioweapons. Heck, even we aren't immune to all of that. I watch screen-grabbed free pornography, Nicole uses pirated video editing software, and our guest has never and will never, ever clear the 107 Silent Hill samples in his music. So get wrecked, morality. My name is James.
I'm Nicole.
And this is Mostly Speaking Spider-Man. Yes, guys, like I said, my name is James, and to all my friends who listen, read, watch romance novels, you can watch a romance novel, scroll on, technically that's reading, you're watching a book. You idiots, you thought I wasn't coming correct with my analogies? No, because that's not even an analogy, you idiot. So, guys, if you read romance novels, how are you just not gooning romance 24/7? It's wild. Come on, you know? Gooning romance, like that will give you pent up emotion. Yeah, because then all of a sudden, I want to take Nicole out on a romantic date if I'm reading all this romance manga. It's all pent up inside of me.
Then fucking do it.
Okay, I'll take you on a romantic date. Yeah, out back.
Excuse?
Give you one of these Knuckle Sammies. Because I found Knuckles
Is it gluten-free?
Yes, I found Knuckles the Echidna, cut his damn hands off, and then I made some sandwiches out of there's a lot of meat on there. People think, is that just his gloves? No, he takes those gloves off. The gloves are paper thin. He just has real big hands. He goes, gadoosh! And then we're about to go, gadonk, down our gullets. How could I do a better, gadoosh to gulp? Yeah, there we go. All right, see? That's why you need a comedy partner. You need someone that gives the checks and balances to your absurdism, and they check and balance it with their own. You know them. They're the woman who can hear a pin drop from 100 meters away due to sensory overload traits, as well as the woman who believe in the power of true friendship. It's Nicole, the Bricks, Jakis, darlinghomebody.com.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay.
No news, no, I guess we did that horror convention if you want to talk about that, but we could loop our guest into that. Yeah. What else, you got any hot new products on the line?
No, I'm broke.
Been watching any new anime? I 3D
sculpted.
Oh, okay, you 3D sculpted.
I 3D sculpted a thing.
Or, hey, this Saturday, what can people catch you doing?
Oh, yeah, shit. This Saturday, I'm doing 20% off things on my online store, and then I'm gonna stream on Twitch until my arms fall off.
Hell yeah. Please don't do that.
Promote it.
That would just be worse for you, You'd have to go to another doctor. You'd have to find an arm fall off doctor. Arm fall off boy.
Yeah.
He became a doctor. He helps people who also, their arms fall off.
I mean, I think he just embraced it,
If I have Crohn's, I don't know if I do, but it seems like I do, and I knew a way to prevent Crohn's from happening to other people, I'd be like, yeah, man, I don't want you to have this.
Yeah.
So Arm Fall Off Boy embraces it, but he's still going to create preventive care and drugs for people to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Avengers, where's Arm Fall Off Boy representation?
Yeah, guys. Have Hawkeye's arm fall off, and he's like, oh no, I need to use my teeth now, but he does it so fucking hot.
And then Arm Fall Off Boy shows up, and he's like, hey, I got you.
He says, hey, you want to know what? We can use both my arm and your arm to pull this bow, but we'll attach one of our arms to the bow to launch at.
As the arrow.
Yeah, to launch at Thanos.
Yeah.
The arm, it's actually Thing from, or It, cousin It, from Adam's family.
Yeah.
It takes off all the jewels from his encrusted gauntlet, and we're good to go.
TM.
TM.
Yeah.
Power wheels,
Can you
power wheels.
trademark something that's already trademarked? Can you copyright something?
I think if you put like 10 things into one bowl of soup, like we're creating soup, it now is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
That's how Beastie Boys were able to get away with sampling on Paul's Boutique.
I mean, that's what I was told about making your own recipes in college.
Oh, yeah, see?
They're like, hey, just change one thing and it's your own recipe.
If I take just stock Heinz ketchup and throw some mustard in there, hey, it's my new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to introduce our guest, Nicole?
Sure.
There you go.
I feel like I'm going to do it bad.
Oh, hey, you want to know what? Out of the maybe 300 episodes we've done this, you've done it 3 times, so you're not as practiced as I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But you know them more than I do. You know his credits.
It's our guest, Ocean_Muerto, 3D sculpting artist.
Welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
I just want to say that was a beautiful introduction. I think
Yes,
you nailed that.
I did it.
That's also my first time ever being introduced. So
Okay, hell yeah.
kind of a sentimental moment for me.
And then what did you think about the stuff before the introduction? Because have you listened to any of this? Like the show before coming on?
This is a virgin experience for me.
Okay, all right.
And yes.
All right.
It is all happening.
Do you listen to podcasts?
Yes.
Okay.
One of them is a D&D podcast.
All right. NADPOD maybe?
Because I just started playing D&D. And then one was about microbiology. So two very different themes.
Yes.
You know.
No, both are that nerd shit.
I mean, true.
Yeah.
Absolutely fair. I am a giant nerd.
Yeah, why not? Me, never.
Also, I just want to say, I don't think Armless Boy is embracing anything.
No.
He you know.
I thought you were going to say I don't think the arm fall off boy is Avengers. He's Justice League.
Fuck.
Yeah. But hey, that's mashing up. That's throwing more stuff in the soup. Like, who's going to sue us? Disney is going to team up with DC? No, never.
True.
Unless Disney just buys DC and then we're just all screwed.
I don't think they would legally be allowed to. I think an antitrust or, like to make sure it doesn't become a monopoly. Warner Brothers, unless they just buy no, because that's still a monopoly. No, Scholastic's doing some really cool shit. If they then buy Scholastic, then it's a monopoly of the comic book industry.
Is it Scholastic or do you just say it that way?
Yeah, Scholastic, isn't it?
Scholastic?
Oh.
Scholastic.
I always say a Scholastic.
I know, it drives me insane.
A Scholastic, baby. There's not 2 O's in that bitch?
No.
No, dude.
Scholastic. Okay, graphics. Can I say that properly?
I
They buy
guess.
graphics, which is the comic book subsidiary of Scholastic.
Yeah.
Ugh. Have some whimsy, industry. Call it Scholastic.
Uh-huh.
God.
I missed the book fair so much.
Oh, man. I'd go to
So
the book
good.
fair and be like, shit, I don't know how to read, so
Yeah.
why would I buy any of this?
To learn how to read.
No, that's what I had Hooked on Phonics, a game for. And as everyone knows, my parents wouldn't teach me the rules because you can't read
You have
the
to read the
manual
rules. Yeah.
if you're a doy kid.
Yeah.
That's why I became an artist.
Oh, yeah, because you couldn't read?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Can't read, but I can paint.
I did it because I can't math.
I failed geometry in high school. I'm bad at shapes. That hurts.
Oh, man. I mean, I think but shapes is different. Shapes is art.
Yeah.
Shapes is math.
Shapes,
Shapes have small amounts of math.
Yeah.
Technically, everything has math.
I'm scared now.
Like breathing has math, like how much milliliters of oxygen can you thrust into you?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Everybody's manually breathing now.
I nose manually breathe.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
If I knew any of the other forms of manual, I would be like, I blank manual.
Skateboarding.
I skateboarding manual.
Yeah.
Breathing.
I have a cousin named Manuel,
Hell yeah.
not to be confused with Manuel.
Who's your favorite cousin?
The ones that don't come over.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
You have cousins who come over lucky?
No, not at all.
So you like all your cousins. So all your cousins are your favorite
Okay,
cousins.
I misspoke. Technically, I don't know any of my cousins. They're all elsewhere.
Okay.
Got it.
So yeah, we're the black sheep of the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nicole, who's your favorite cousin?
That's a toughie.
Yeah? That's probably Rachel.
You have a cousin named Tuffy?
First name that's a.
That's okay.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
Yeah, because you're like close with your
and
cousins.
they might listen to this. I know
I
one
think,
of them
yes,
definitely
one of them
might.
does. Yes.
It's gonna be uncomfortable at Thanksgiving dinner. We're like, I can't believe you didn't say I was your favorite cousin.
You think we go to Thanksgiving
Yeah,
dinner?
joke's on
Come
you.
on. We haven't done that in 10 years.
That definitely wasn't just me trying to get invited to Thanksgiving dinner. I apologize.
Do you want to come to Thanksgiving? You can. We'll
we can
give
have
you
a
one.
Friendsgiving.
Well, no, I was gonna say we'll give you one of Nicole's wigs, and then you just show up to her family's Thanksgiving and be like, "Hey guys, James couldn't make it."
I could do that. We could do this.
Just pose as me.
Just train me in your mannerisms.
yeah.
And then I give you one of my baseball caps. You turn around, put that on, and say, April Fools.
Yeah.
It's James. So then you have to just, when you take the hat off, your Nicole hat on.
They'll never see it coming.
They'll go, I don't, you look different. And then you just go, arf, arf. And they're like, oh, it's you. Yeah.
There we go.
Yaga yow.
I'm starting all the drama with your family. Everybody's my favorite cousin.
Oh, no.
And then if they start, they're like, that arf doesn't sound right. You say,
Yeah.
Trump is a criminal. And then
Yeah.
they're like, oh, yeah, Nicole, yeah, it's you.
Yeah.
You got us down locked. Bring up Yogi Bear one or two times.
Okay.
A hyper specific. You'll have to do a little bit of research.
Okay. I'll do some method acting.
Read one page of either Hannah or Barbara's autobiography.
Okay.
Just memorize it.
Oh no, just that single page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not when he's talking about his kids at Christmas and he's like, I always wanted, I worked so much, but I just wanted to make sure Christmas they fucking had everything they ever needed and wanted. Like,
Is that verbatim?
No, that's not verbatim. Actually, I do think that's Joseph Barbera. He probably, the editor was like, we need to take out every single curse word, dude.
Wait, Hannah Barbara is two different people?
William Hannah and Joseph Barbera.
That's so confusing.
No, it's not.
They should just be one person.
No, it's Hannah and Barbera.
That's barbaric.
Barbaric.
Barbana.
Okay, dang it. We all kind of did the same joke. Nicole's, I think, was the better because it sounded like bananas.
You win this round.
Yes. I never win.
Well, you want to know who won today? Spider-Man, as he does every single week, every single episode. But Ocean, what's your experience with this web head at large?
I'm a really big fan of the first Spider-Man movies. I'm very team Tobey Maguire. And then after that, I just kind of fell off. So
You didn't even watch Edge of Spider-Verse?
I did not.
Whoa.
Fuck, dude.
I don't know. Like, who is this Miles Morales kid? Like, is he Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a different universe.
It's so good.
I don't understand.
It's the multiverse. That's how you understand it.
I barely understand this universe. I'm not going to start keeping track of other ones.
Oh, so you know Earth 616, but you can't figure out whatever Peter Porker's on?
Are you saying that we're in Earth 616? Is that?
I forget the Earth that's our Earth within the Marvel universe, multiverse.
I have no idea. Don't look at me.
Nicole, what number is it?
Don't fucking look at me.
It's probably like Earth REAL, or it's probably Earth Lee. Like some dumb bullshit to be like, Stan Lee was so great.
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
this is going to be my hot take. If you need multiple universes to tell a good story, you're doing it wrong.
No, I think it's just so you don't pigeonhole yourself into like, okay, like, can we get a new Spider-Man? And then, yeah, we can get a new Spider-Man, but you don't have to worry about the continuity of the previous Spider-Man in case this one fails. I think multiverse stuff started out of just people being afraid that something new will fail and tank the line itself.
Interesting. I did just see the trailer for Noir Spider-Man. It's got Nicolas Cage in it.
Wait.
I'm excited for that.
That's out? There's a trailer out?
It's like teasers, I think.
Okay.
Not a full thing, but Nicolas Cage doing his thing.
Uh-huh.
Love that man.
Yeah, we know. We got a Nick Cage podcast.
Do you guys actually?
Yeah. We're like 60 some episodes in, or 60 some movies ish.
Did you guys watch Willy's Wonderland?
We're doing it chronological.
Yeah.
It's gonna get real bad and then it's gonna get good.
We're in the bad part.
We've been in the bad part and then
we're
got
calling
into
just like
good.
dad movie era.
I think dad movie era bad is better than the like late 80s, early
like
90s.
indie era
Yeah,
bad.
Are you guys past Gone in 60 Seconds yet?
Oh yeah, we've done that.
Yeah.
Love that one.
Uh-huh.
Then he had like a weird time in the 2000s, I think. But he came back.
Yeah. And I think it's because he just stopped trying so hard.
Uh-huh.
He's like a serious Adam Sandler. Like Adam Sandler's like nonchalant. Nicolas Cage doesn't care, but like in a serious way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say now. That's my thing is like he was so obsessed with like and like put movies and movie making up on this pedestal that he just overdid everything. Like he was just you know.
Yeah, and he was being thrusted into this mainstream era, like the mainstream movies, by, you know, like he's a very good actor. So like as he's being positioned into these bigger roles, he never wanted that. He always talks like, I wanted to do like punk rock films in the sense that like indie, kind of like fun, gritty, just lower budget stuff to be, because, you know, at the time it's like into the 80s. No, yeah, he's in the 80s with Valley Girl and all that. If things were starting to get like sterile, he's like, no, I liked 70s filmmaking. That's what my uncle made. Like I want to do shit like that.
Wait, Nicolas Cage is a Nepo baby?
Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh.
That's his uncle.
I did not know that.
Dang. We're dropping facts, Nicole.
I'm learning so much today.
Oh, yeah.
And his cousin is Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah.
That's what you were going to say.
Jason
His cousin is Jason
Schwartzman.
Bourne. Jesus Christ.
And his cousin's also something Coppola, the director.
Uh-huh.
Francis Ford Coppola's daughter.
Yeah.
Mia Coppola, maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
Wow.
The Godfather.
So what was the last Nicolas Cage movie that you guys watched?
It was a shit one, I think.
It
Left
was
Behind.
that one. God damn, that movie sucked.
It rocked, but in a bad way.
What is the one sentence synopsis?
The Rapture, but they're on a plane.
Based on the real bullshit, just popcorn book series Left Behind. Find out what happens when those who don't accept Christ get left behind.
That's real bad.
But like it's funny because they just, the way they think people who don't believe in Christ act is wild.
Even the people who do believe in Christ.
But that's because like, as I've said, they are treating the people. Whoever directed it clearly was not a Christian, because he's like, oh yeah, the Christians are the bad people in this script as I'm reading it, so I'm going to direct them to be like a bitch when they just come up to a stranger and say like, have you recognized Christ as your savior? If you haven't, you're gonna go to hell. And it's like, instead, like how it's probably written was like, hey, have you accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior? I hope so, because if you haven't, you'll go to hell.
And it's weird because it's like in that universe, it's almost as if like no one is into Christianity, but they don't like tell you that. You kind of have to figure it out, where it's like, what if we lived in this world where no one knew about God and Jesus? And this is how Christians would be treated. Like, so there's the mom/wife and they're acting like she needs an intervention for addiction when she's just into Jesus or whatever.
But she got into it real quick, real
But also,
hard.
yeah, we talk about that.
Yeah, guys, go to patreon.com/MLM pod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content like Engage with Nicolas Cage.
Can I open this door? It's hot in here.
Absolutely, baby. And hey, this existed. It's coming back soon, as well as a new show with Nicole and I called Sleepover Sadness, probably. I don't know.
Sleepover camp.
Oh, okay. Oh, Sleepover Camp. I like that. Will we ever discuss Sleepaway Camp on there?
Maybe.
Yes, man. That movie
I mean, yeah,
rules.
because my conceit of it is that it's like I'm teaching you
How
about
to be,
sleepovers, and one of the things is like what movies you watch.
Like Josie and the Pussycats.
So, no.
Nicole, that was such a big sleepover movie, at least for like my, like, you're a tiny bit younger. That's how I knew about this, is hearing friends of mine talk about watching that at sleepovers.
Yes. But we've talked about, like, I was friends with all the like emo outcast kids, so we watched fucking Repo Man, the Genetic Opera and shit.
Okay. We really didn't,
Evil Dead.
we really didn't watch a lot at like when people would sleep over at my house, because there was a heavy emphasis on sleep. Because boy, oh boy. It's 9:30. I got to start turning in on a Saturday night. And my friend Dakota Rust I've talked about him before. He goes, hey, I love hanging out with you, James, but the days I'm not like sleeping over at your house on the weekends, I'm at like these parties and people are starting to make fun of me because I now have your sleep schedule. I'm like going to bed at 10 and I don't like it.
Ocean, what kind of movies would you watch at a sleepover?
It was a mix between like Chucky and Shrek.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Just kind of a range.
Yeah.
But that would also that would involve getting my mom's permission to do anything fun.
Mm-hmm.
She was not a big believer in that. So, because everybody knows that having sleepovers leads to smoking cigarettes and becoming an addict.
Oh yeah.
Of course, obviously.
Just
gimme. You know?
Yeah, I probably would have ended up on that plane.
Addicted to Christ.
Oh, hell
Am I
yeah.
right?
You should have been like, hey, like we're gonna have a Christian powwow. Would your mom have been okay with that?
No, she probably would have been upset at that too. She was not very easy to please, though.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk Spider-Man.
Well, you want to know what would probably please her? One of
Spider-Man?
these knuckle
Oh.
sandwiches. They're delicious.
I'd probably eat some echidna
Yeah.
hands.
That prime cut echidna.
Yeah, the hands. The
Uh-huh.
best
They're
meat.
they're fatty as hell.
Yeah.
Weirdest thing I've ever eaten was alligator.
Okay.
I had some of that. Wasn't the greatest. Tasted pretty gamey.
Weirdest thing I ever ate was like a Tide Pod.
God damn it, that's really good. That's
Thank
a good
you.
joke.
What flavor was it?
All of them, it's a tri-swirl.
Yeah. Weirdest thing I ever ate was a worm on accident.
Okay.
How does one accidentally eat a worm? Please explain. Expand.
Are you familiar with like pantry moths?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a box of cereal that they laid their eggs in,
Okay.
and I ate that cereal.
But they were hatched at that point?
Yeah, there were worms in it, dude.
Okay.
And she doesn't look before she eats.
It was pretty nasty.
Nicole, we might need to get your peripheral vision checked because
What?
there's times when I'm in the kitchen, I'm going like,
Yeah.
you should notice what I'm doing.
It's very possible that I do notice and I'm just ignoring
Okay,
you.
today, did you notice?
I don't remember.
Okay, then I'm going to say you didn't notice.
Okay.
Because you would have been like, he's being so cute, he just wants my attention.
Yeah. Definitely not.
And you're like-
the opposite of that.
You're like, you got to work for it, for senpai's attention.
Yeah.
So at some point, did you have pantry moths in your stomach?
I don't know. Probably not.
Like that whole thing of like if you swallow like a watermelon seed, they
Yeah.
tell you you're going to grow a watermelon in your stomach.
A couple days ago, you did cough and a moth came out.
Oh no.
Also, when you sleep, a bunch of moths come out and then form a shape and then
I hate
suck
it.
back into you.
I hate it.
Like in The Haunting of Connecticut.
Ew.
Spoilers.
No, that's on the box art. That's not a spoiler.
Okay, cool. See.
That movie is sad.
Yeah, that's the kind of psychological horror. If I'm sad at the end, not like, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh? I don't want those two. I want like, well, yeah, this is an allegory for grief or whatever.
Sounds like I'm gonna have to add to that movie to the list.
The Haunting of Connecticut.
Yeah, it's more just about like a teen with cancer.
Yeah. I think a movie you got to add to your list is Ultraviolet.
No.
Have you ever seen that?
No, but it's on the list with Aeon Flux.
Okay.
Because they came out at the same time, and they
Yeah.
were sort of like, am I watching the same movie, essentially?
Well, it's
No.
not the same movie as that. It's the same movie as Resident Evil because Mila Jovovich is in it, and there's like beat for beat things from Resident Evil.
It's
but
wild.
It was written and directed by the Equilibrium dude. We saw like the intro, like the trailer, and we were like, all right, we're watching this. This was last night. And it sucks
Really?
real bad because it's an unfinished movie. There are 3D scenes and like CGI scenes that look horrendous. And it's because the studio took it away from the director in the editing process and kind of just said, all right, yeah, it's done.
But some of the scenes are so fucking cool.
Uh-huh.
And like it's just
concepts
a ton
are great,
of
too.
action scenes
Yeah.
too that are just really fun.
Like if I had like, hey, I have $30 million, I'd be like, hey, Screen Gems, I'd like to pay you for us to like finish this movie.
Yeah.
That's one of my fantasies. It's just, if I ever come into like a stupid amount of money, I would just pay some studios to like just finish content for me. Like Teen Titans. I think it's criminal that, they didn't finish that.
They got a sequel series.
Well, first of all, I love Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
I love it. There's some people who are like mad at it because it's like not the sequel to Teen Titans. I'm like, it's a different thing. Just enjoy it for what it is. Love that. But yeah, there's like some video games I would love to like have people just go back to. But yeah, that's what I dream about if I were to come into this from like really stupid money.
Nicole, what would you do if you had stupid money? Just live?
Solve world hunger.
Oh, yeah.
You fucking
Okay, but no, stop.
Not that
Stop.
much money, though.
This is stupid money.
Yeah.
Stupid money is what you have after like
criminal
the
money.
basic
Yeah,
needs
yeah.
of life have been met.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
you have over $3 million in your bank account because that on interest in a normal bank account would give you $40,000 a year, and that's more than enough to live on.
If we're talking like content, The Tick, I just want more of that fucking show.
Oh, it was so
Like
good.
it wouldn't happen because it's also just been a long time. So
No, you could do like old Tick, like The Dark Knight Returns, that
yeah.
style, but for the Tick.
or like Gilmore Girls 10 years
Yeah,
later.
I was really into the Earthworm Jim cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever.
Well, okay, so we're talking about Amazon did like a series of The Tick. It was a live action. It's
And it
really
was
fucking good.
The episodes were directed by Christopher Nolan's director of photography, so they looked like The Dark Knight and shit. But it was super funny and awesome.
And the
Really?
villain, I have a thing where the villain has to be good, and the villain is so good in that.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of good villains, does that mean, how did you feel about the Star Wars, what do you even call it, postquels?
Oh,
I'm not a Star.
Yeah.
I never got into Star Wars
At all? Okay.
I loved the original trilogy. I, as a child, liked 1 and 3, but I was really big into the expanded universe. So Dark Forces, Jedi Knights, those were my jams. And then my brother would sometimes read the Timothy Zahn books to me because, again, Doy kid didn't know how to read.
Right. I have huge beef with Kylo Ren. I feel like he's just like not a respectable villain, which I guess maybe that's the point, but no. He's just kind of like a wee brat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I see that just because, like, I knew Adam Driver from watching Girls, so then I'm just like, oh, it's just this character, but in Star Wars. So then I like couldn't get that out of my head.
Can't unsee.
Yeah.
But you want to know who's a really good villain? The Iron Cross
The
Army.
Iron Cross Army.
All right, initial thoughts. What did you think of Toei's Spider-Man?
Genuinely, that was a life-changing experience.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm only now realizing, like, I'm questioning, why did the Iron Army have women with like Amazonian,
So
like Sailor Moon outfits.
a few episodes ago, they were mummies from the Amazon, and then they resurrected them with some. Was it that squeeze them up juice? No, that was another episode. I think they just did a ritual to bring them back, maybe.
I don't fucking remember.
And they were like, oh, because it was so purely mummified that their skin is still so hot, TT.
Yeah. So that's, I don't know. And they're just like, yeah, we're here.
Yeah, it was a few episodes
We're going to
ago.
do this
you
now.
know? Any other questions before we get into the episode of like, why did they do this? Who was that?
No, I just think, like, this is more about the actual episode, but like when he's spying on the two kids talking about their detective stuff, his girlfriend and his sister and his little brother
yeah.
come up and they're like, "Why are you spying on young lovers?"
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, I think because it's like, hey, don't be a creepy voyeur, you know?
Yeah.
Right, but I would think that they'd be able to perceive who he was looking at, like some 10-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't know.
but that's what they're saying is like, hey, quit peeping on, you're being creepy right now. Because out of, like, if you don't know the context because they don't know that he's Spider-Man, they would be like, yeah, you're just being a creep right now. Explain yourself.
Right.
Like, if I saw Nicole just peering out of a corner, staring at literally anyone, I'd be like, you're being a creep.
Yeah. And like they were there to do something else. They were there because they were trying to catch their equivalent of the Loch Ness Monster.
Messy.
Yeah. And they just happened to see him being a creep.
Quick rundown of this episode. There's a doctor. He makes this capsule that creates botulism in like a citywide rate and will kill everyone within,
6 hours.
6 hours. And then but it will be habitable, that area, 12 hours after that. Maybe it was 18. I don't know. So he's like, yeah, but I'm still a good guy. And his niece hears him. She hides the botulism thing. So now the Spider-Man, along with the youth detectives, are trying to find this, as the Iron Cross Army is as well. Die Ranger.
I think Iron Cross Army is a little bit too metal of a name for what they got going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
like all the villains at this time had names like that. Zone Shocker, I believe, was one of them.
Well, and we have Professor Monster.
Yeah, Professor
who's
Monster.
The main guy.
Yeah, Amazonis.
Yeah, who's a main lady.
Crocodile Denture.
And Cavity Crocodile.
Yeah, he switches up his name once he gets rid of his cavities.
He just has cavities for some reason.
Like if I was called like Thin Dick James and then I got like a big dick, that you couldn't keep calling me that.
I mean, you could out of just like irony.
Okay. As they're like, Thin Dick over there.
Yeah.
And they're like, ain't that right, Tony? And goes, oh, no, yeah, it's not thin, guys.
Okay.
Tony experienced it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's begin. It starts out with this Dr. Ashita. He is the man who created this botulism bioweapon. And Amazonis is trying to haggle with him to get the price at where she wants it to be. And she says 5 million yen. And he goes 1 billion yen. And then it goes to 10.
And she goes, no. She goes, how about I just kill you instead?
Well, he says, with all the looting and killing that you've been doing, the Iron Cross Army should very well be able to pony up 10 billion yen. Also, bioweapons are never the answer. That's how zombies would be created.
I mean, yeah, if you go by movie logic.
Do you believe in zombies being supernatural or chemical?
What do you mean by supernatural? Like
magic.
lightning? Like lightning?
No, like magic.
Like
Like a
necromancers and
witch?
shit.
Yeah. Like in
Yeah, I'm trying to think
Zombie
of
Island.
a story where that was the case.
Technically, the Necronomicon. Or do you think of that as like no, because there's that
that
witch
is
lady.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those two hunks are in supernatural.
I mean, probably not supernatural. Probably normal natural.
Okay.
I think we're going to be in for like an I Am Legend situation.
Okay. I'd want them to be magic. There's an MC Chris skit where he's like, hey, if they're magic, I have magic. If there is magic, then I have magic. And I'll be able to like take care of these zombies. Because you just learned the magic spells to reverse the zombie shit.
Yeah, so easy.
Yeah. Sabrina the Teenage Witch just like is incorrect. You can learn wizardry real fast.
Yeah.
Come on. She was too busy with ogling at Harvey to really focus on the prize. And that's, over an afternoon learning witchers,
Learning witchers.
Yeah. That's like the spells that witches cast. Learning to be a witcher.
Yeah.
Is that why it's called The Witcher?
Maybe. Because like you wouldn't say, hey, I'm learning to be a run. No, you would say I'm learning to be a runner. Because witch is a verb. It's what you do. And to make a noun, add an ER.
Yeah. So the kids' detective gang.
The Sunset Youth Club or whatever.
Sunset
Youth Detective.
Youth.
Oh, yes. Today we are
Boy.
discussing episode 38 of Toei Spider-Man entitled The Tin, Twilight Star, and the Youth Detectives.
Youth detective.
Yeah, that's just all I have them written down as. Unless it's the Twilight Star Youth Detectives.
So the main kid is like, guys, we got a case.
Yeah, and they're like, with who? It's not going to be important, right?
Yeah, they're pissed because they got to go study.
And the kid's like, oh no, Megumi, like she's our friend. She's saying she's in trouble. And they're like, that drama queen, she's been so dramatic ever since her parents croaked. It's like she has reason to be dramatic. She's experienced the unenjoyable.
Yeah, I've never understood when people are like, oh, it's a cry for help. And I'm like, then help them?
Yeah.
Why are you bullying them?
That's just a cry for help.
Yeah. The fuck?
They're like, they might be a witch. They're actually not drowning in the water.
Yeah.
You can learn to be a witch real quick, guys.
There's consequences, though.
Yeah, you can't swim?
You
you can swim. You can.
It's like One Piece.
Yeah. Witches sink to the... No, because witches sink to the bottom. So they're like, oh yeah, all of them sunk to the bottom.
No, James, listen.
What's up?
Listen.
Yeah?
It's if you drown, you're not a witch.
Oh, okay. So it was just...
if you don't drown, you are
okay.
a witch. So
It's
then they can just kill
regardless.
you again.
Yeah. They should have been like, all right, if this water doesn't make you melt, you're human.
Yeah.
That's what they should have been doing.
It's heads I win, tails you lose logic.
Yeah, that sucks. Guys, being a woman is hard.
Yeah.
Let's scratch that. Was hard.
Being alive is hard,
Amen.
Those kids are so strong that they knock down Spider-Man. While they're tussling with the head leader of this youth group. Takuya, that's Spider-Man's real name. He comes in, he's like, hey kids, what are you doing? And they kind of just like push him off to the side. They don't even push him. He just gets pushed by their pushing.
Yeah, they just he gets knocked over.
I think they had one take and that was not supposed to happen.
That's also very possible.
Because it looked like it wasn't supposed to happen.
Japanese Spider-Man has no core strength.
No.
It hurts.
It's just all in the wrist. Thwip, thwip.
Yeah, for those spider strings.
Imagine like that's like what's inside you would have to be so like muscular that forces out that spider rope. Thwip.
Yeah.
Do you think that like shooting out his spider web feels good?
I hope.
Like, what if he just got like a good happy chemical every time he
Probably.
did that?
If that were the case and I got injected with Spider X blood, that's how he got his spider powers in this.
From Planet Spider.
You would just see me like passed out on the ground with my hands like this and just a pile of spider
Just the room
rope.
covered in webbing.
It looks like Sukamon on the ground.
Like that
Oh
picture
my
of
God.
the South Park dad
Yeah.
in his chair, and it's just the room is just covered in spider goo.
You would also see like a little stain on my pants.
Wow. A friend of mine's brother, his room was just like, I shit you not, like a mountain of like Kleenex, like used tissues.
That is not okay. Hang
like
on.
a fucking
Wow.
mountain.
Who was this friend?
I'm not gonna say
You can
it.
bleep it.
I'm not gonna
wait,
say it.
Whisper it.
Wait.
No.
Text it to me. Do I know this person?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
I'm not saying
Well,
anything.
then it means it's not one of your cousins, because saying one of my friends and then actually you could have just said like, yeah, one of my cousins, his room was just like a shrine to tissue.
Wow.
But they let people into the room in that condition?
Yeah, probably. Teens have no shame.
Yeah.
I just had like a shirt that I would like stick underneath my bed, and it was like underneath the bed on the wall, and like behind like little totes. There's a reason why I'm explaining like how far back and hidden it was.
Yeah, how much shame you had.
Well, yeah, that, but also like, hey, I don't want anyone to see this. I guess it's shame. But
I have a question. Why are we saving these things and not just tossing it?
I mean, this is a shirt. It's like a handkerchief. You reuse it for this because it's a shirt. Like, I'm not going to toss like after one use. That's wasteful.
I was way too
You just
old when I
wash
discovered
it.
that people were using socks. And that just, your feet go in there.
Yeah.
Henry's in the other room going like, huh? Because his name's also Socks. He's like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then one day I like went to reach back. It's not there, meaning my stepmom had been like rooting around, found, and it's like, why would you do that?
Are you sure it didn't just like fall?
No, because it was one half of a bunk bed, so there wasn't like, it was just like a frame high up. So like once it goes in between the crack, it just falls onto the ground. There's no, also I don't want it like waiting near me. It's covered in cum, dude.
I still don't understand why do you want a reusable shame blanket?
The world is on fire right now.
Right, but this was X amount of years ago.
Also because like if it's there and it's like, oh well, this is wet right now. If I throw it in the hamper, someone might touch it wet.
Well, don't use the shirt.
Yeah.
Well, what would I use then?
The tissue.
The world is on fire.
They have like lotion tissues. You could be doing this in luxury.
I could have just been shooting into the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you'd have
That's
like
an
a weird affection for
option.
toilets.
You think I don't already? I might have Crohn's. It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
I love it. They hate it.
Who's they?
The toilets.
Okay.
Context clues.
The botulism pill goes missing.
and goes viral.
We don't do segues here.
Neither does Japanese Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
it doesn't care.
Fair.
So they find this doctor and they're like, give us the pill. And he's like, I don't have it anymore because it should be right there. And they like shot arrows to, like in Looney Tunes or something, or when someone's on a turn wheel and they have an apple on their head and there's a knife thrower, it just goes all around them. The Addams Family does it. They do that, but with the arrows, and they're like, oh, yeah, it has poison, so if it sticks into you, it's donezo. But then he, like, feels the poison to just, like, seep into his, like, from the top, like a topical cream seeped in, because he wasn't shot anywhere.
He had a scrape on his face.
There was
Okay.
one in
There's
his armpit.
But that could just mean,
So
like,
I don't know if that means,
like old school, how do we put in a low budget, how
But
do we put this
He
into
also
him?
didn't die. The lady said that he'd be in a coma for a month.
Yeah. Maybe it was always like, hey, if we don't have this pill, if we don't have him, the capsule is gone forever and we want this. So we will tell him it will kill him instantly and it will be a brutal pain, but really it will kill him for a month, and that does damage to a family, to an individual. Like it's gonna. So when he wakes up, he's like, "All right, where's this capsule? There you go. You're fine." So it might have just been a ruse, and then they're like, "Well, this time we will kill you." And then guess what? 2 months he's out. He wakes up and he's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
What if we find out that the Iron Army is just like some real estate developers from Schaumburg and they're here to like gentrify the neighborhood?
I mean, they're kind of doing that. They buy up real estate. They own buildings and
Yeah, they
companies.
own a lot of shit.
They're already in the media, sipping stevia.
Bars.
One more.
It was nice meeting you.
That's the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
yeah.
guys, guess what? Silence delete. There was no pauses in between, I assure you.
Whoa.
Through the magic of editing.
I love how Cavity Croc becomes Dental Croc.
For like one scene.
For one frame.
Yeah.
And then he just immediately loses the golden grill.
I love the spider kick to him after Spider-Man's like, oh, he's Cavity Croc. Oh, he must have a sweet tooth. Hey, dummy, there's a cake over there. And he's like, huh? And then Spider-Man does that thing where he goes on his hands and then thrusts his leg. Like he does donkey kick. He donkey kicks a crocodile in his teeth, shattering all of them.
6 times.
Yeah. You were like, how many times did they need to do that to like really show the impact? I'm like, they're trying to pad the length time.
It's like me typing up a report in high school, just like double spacing everything and like putting in white letters so that you can't see it.
I once had to write a paper, like an instructional paper, an essay, like a how to do essay, and it was about how to bullshit an essay, and it was beautiful. I was like, I did step by step, and I was like, and make sure to use a lot of adjectives, and then like the next sentences were just the like 5-syllable adjectives, just like feeding into the page length.
See, my brother is like a year younger than me. So if he got the same teacher, he would just steal my,
Hell yeah.
my essays.
That's
and I was
good.
like, you piece of shit.
You should have been doing that to Ashley.
I should have.
Uh-huh.
I'm not as smart as him.
Was Ashley a doy kid? Or did
No.
Ashley? Oh, Ashley got good grades?
Yeah.
Nerds. The whole lot of you.
Josh did not get good grades.
Oh, yeah, probably because you had shit essays.
Fuck off.
How you doing, Ocean?
I'm doing phenomenal. Thank you
Okay.
for asking. I'm just wondering, like, is this why we became artists?
So when that dude's on the couch, and Spider-Man's talking like, hey, what could he have been up to? Why is the Iron Cross Army after him? This man's dying, and Spider-Man can heal him by just like dripping some of his spider blood into him. He's done it for kids who got hit and run.
Yeah, but this man made botulism and was trying to sell it.
But Spider-Man doesn't know that at this point.
Exactly.
Okay. But
He doesn't
hey,
know
you
what
wanna
this
know
man's
who
doing.
would be able to tell Spider-Man all the information? The man with, botulism or whatever. Botulism gives you diarrhea, right?
I have no idea. I just know it's bad.
Yeah. I know, like, people who make their own wine have to deal with it.
My mom, because you know how my mom is, and they'll make pickles sometimes.
Oh, yeah, and it's scary of botulism.
So she's just absolutely freaked out about botulism.
As you should be.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's fair.
The main symptoms of botulism are difficulty swallowing and speaking.
Oh, okay.
So you just start to develop a stutter, but it's fatal.
Whoa. What if Porky Pig's got botulism?
Oh my God.
So Megumi comes in and is like, oh, my uncle's a good man. He would never do anything wrong. But it's like, why are you trying to defend this man? He was talking about making money, so much money, at the behest of thousands dying.
And it's like, their plan is to use this. So
Yeah.
it's like, you would fucking die, you
Yeah, if
idiot.
it's if they launch it in your area,
Yeah.
you're going to be dead.
Yeah.
Sexy botulism singles in your area.
Hell yeah, dude.
Just enter your credit card information.
Botulism.
Babes.
My brain stopped working.
A little strip tease from a sexy number with a stutter.
I was trying to make a joke about Kraft singles.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't come out.
How does botulism
Because
craft?
you said sexy
Sexy
singles.
singles.
Which made me think of Kraft singles.
That tells me a lot about you as a person. That you hear the word sexy singles and your mind goes cheese.
To food.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like cream pie. My brain goes to pie.
Does it?
Yeah.
You're a fucking liar.
Sometimes it depends.
Can we talk about the actor that had to be in a crocodile suit in the fucking water?
Yeah, because they got to catch messy with donuts.
That would suck.
And I loved how they throw. There's, I guess, this Loch Ness monster in this pond people keep saying, but clearly it's just this crocodile. But
which I liked. I thought that was funny.
It was very cute. The little brother's like, hey, we're going to catch us, has this long pole with a long, hook on it with you said it was a Hawaiian roll.
It's like pretzel buns.
Yeah.
Like they use premium bread on that.
It looked real good. They throw it in and they're like, we got something. And they pull it up and then Shinko and Hitomi are like, oh, it's messy. And then the brother pops out and he's like, no, that's a crocodile. And then Takuya's like, no, you idiots. It's a monster. It's a BEM.
It has a machine gun for a nose.
Which he did not use at any point in the show.
No.
It just...
Not at all.
Chekhov's gun. If you show a gun.
No, it's not, because it didn't go off
Yeah,
ever.
no, I'm saying it should have.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like if you have cavities, you don't want to be using your teeth to like bite people. It's just going to exacerbate the problem. You're like a ticking time bomb.
You don't give a fuck. Did you know if you don't get a cavity filled, it could melt your jaw and your entire face? That's what Sailor Moon told me.
No.
Hey guys, I'm done with Sailor Moon.
Congrats.
Yeah.
I only ever watched Sailor Moon at the laundromat because they had a Cartoon Network at the laundromat, and it'd be on like Toonami. Yeah, so I caught very limited pieces of Sailor Moon.
I'm talking the manga. I just read all of that.
See, there we go. There's a manga. That makes sense.
You didn't know there was a manga?
No, I knew there was a manga
okay.
because I just started watching, or I finished Hunter x Hunter, and apparently the dude who wrote that is the husband of the girl who wrote Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Like, small world.
Yeah. They met, I think, at like a convention or maybe a dinner with like other artists, and then I think when she was done with Sailor Moon, she's like, well, I don't have anything to do. So she would hang out and do the toning for him on the, I'm guessing, Yu Yu Hakusho. And then...
Goated show, by the way.
And then they fell in love, got married, and they're still together to this day.
Yeah, they're real busy not finishing Hunter x Hunter. I'm not mad about it at all.
Oh, is it not done?
No, it is not done.
Do you know why?
It's in limbo.
No, the dude has debilitating back pain.
Oh.
So I'm assuming it's because of that. Like, it's very hard. Like, he has to draw laying down.
That's painful.
So I hope he's getting that figured out. I hope he's getting the little burns,
Burns?
Yeah, I guess you can cauterize the nerve ending so you don't feel the pain.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If my job asked me to find a bacteria capsule and didn't provide a hazmat suit, I guess I'm coming down with a case of diarrhea on company time. So I'm like, hey, guys, actually, I got a diarrhea. Yeah, I'll be looking for it soon, but I might be on the toilet for a little bit.
For the record, as a person with a 9 to 5, I only ever use the bathroom on company time.
Hell yeah.
You're paying for my poops. Like it's just it's in my contract.
Yeah.
You put headphones on.
That's a cool 15 minutes right there. Just making sure everything's going.
Every office should have bidets if they really want the process being sped up.
Can we talk about that for a second? Why, like, as a species, do we not just normalize bidets?
I don't know.
Like,
we got one a few years ago, and it's the best gift Nicole's ever given me.
What is this fear that the world has with, like, clean posteriors?
I mean, it's homophobia, at least here in the United States, of dudes being like, oh, man, you can't wash my ass. Nothing touches my ass. I'm straight as hell.
This culture will say like the most homoerotic things on Xbox Live. But then when it comes to like washing their ass, it's just like, nope.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah, I really hate how like misogyny culture, I don't know, not villainizes, but just like doesn't like cleanliness.
It's strange, right?
Yeah.
What do you do in the shower? Like, you just don't let the water fall down your crack? Like, that's weird.
The water, the gravity, aka God, can, put water there, but I'm not doing it.
Well, it was even watching fucking Playing It Straight. They're like, oh, he has a hair dryer. He's gay. Yep. And it's like, are you fucking serious? It's a fucking hair dryer.
Yeah, real quick, Playing It Straight was like from 2000. It was a reality show where a lady's like The Bachelor's trying to date this woman or all these men, but some of the men are secretly gay and she has to suss them out. Or if she ends up falling, like the final guy ends up being gay, he gets all of the money instead of splitting it with two straight people.
That is a wild premise for a show.
It was on Fox, of course. You better believe it.
But isn't Fox pretty like Republican?
No. Back in the day, Fox, like that's what Married with Children was on. Like in The Simpsons, they were known for just. There was a joke of like ice the nipples. Okay, so like things are really pointy. Like Mad TV had jokes about that of like shitting on Fox of like. You guys are just the horny. And Cops was on there.
I fucking love Cops. Two shows raised me, SpongeBob and Cops.
Whoa. Your demeanor does not suggest that at all. For either of them.
I'm gonna need you to expand on that. What does that mean? What is your impression?
Relaxed people I've seen, whereas both of those, zero relaxation, zero chill.
No, yeah, there's just real wholesome content, on both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, okay.
So wholesome.
I really liked when in this show, when Amazonas goes, hurry up, kid, and just like pushes the kid's head for real.
I mean, she was getting paid like 10 yen an hour, so she probably wanted that to be over real fast.
Also, they're just looking for this thin capsule encasing a devastating bioweapon. It's crazy how I guess all those bird things are robots maybe, so they don't need to give a shit.
Yeah.
But the kid, these kids are looking for it.
Yeah.
What if they're like, oh, that's just all he was looking for? Hey, let's break it open and see what's there. Or do they have to like put it in water?
It's like one of those like sponge pills you get from the dollar store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soak it in a cup of 8 ounces of water, wait 6 hours, and then boom.
It's a dinosaur.
Little botulism.
Yeah.
A botulism.
Botulism, baby.
Yeah.
So they're not going to like put it into the water supply because didn't they try to do that in an episode?
I don't remember.
Or they wanted to blow up the water supply dam or something? Inconsistent.
My question is, so the whole premise of the show, this episode, is that they couldn't get the Sunset Detectives to join together, to rally together to help this kid. Right? So what they ended up doing by themselves was hiding the pill. So if they had succeeded in rallying the troops, would it just then have been a group effort to hide the pill in the same place?
Maybe. Well, no, so the kid didn't know about the pill until after the kids are like, we don't want to do that. He's like, hey, we have a thing. And then he goes, meets her, and she's like, hey, hide this pill. I think that's how it went down, right?
See, that would have been an embarrassing meeting if you like got the whole squad together and like, all right, what's the case? And they're like, I need you to hide this tiny item. That,
Well, it was like to hide it and then to like, I don't know, take down Iron Cross Army.
Oh, that could be it.
Right, but then
Yeah.
we learned that
Spider-Man.
half of them were wimps. Like that one guy said, like, we can't even touch them. They're the Iron Army.
And I swear, like, this group has tangoed with the Iron Cross Army in a previous episode. This is one of the very few. I think in total there are 6 episodes where they belong to two-parters in a sense, where they're early on in the season, then later on in the season, which the next episode will be the guy with the guitar gun. He's coming back. So it's weird that they're like, oh, the Iron Cross Army will kill us, instead of saying, hey, let's get Spider-Man again. He saved our asses last time.
I don't think that's weird.
I don't know. Real quick, did I say they should have gotten the doctor to an actual hospital and not the couch in his study?
No, I don't think so. But you're correct.
I just also don't understand why that woman was so comfortable with like a random man in spandex in their apartment.
Because they know who Spider-Man
because it's
is.
Spider-Man.
Like he has an entire disco song that was like a #1 hit radio song for a month. So everyone knows about Spider-Man.
In universe?
Yes, in universe.
Wow. Okay.
But it was actually like a way to the Iron Cross Army to like pollute people's minds. This shit, like Sailor Moon took so much from this bullshit. Like Naoko Takeuchi is on record saying, yes, I love Super Sentai and it was a big influence. And now that I've seen I've read all of Sailor Moon, like they do the music thing. Like they do so much that's in Super Sentai and adjacent things that it's wild.
Huh. Have you watched the show?
We will be watching it after we're done with Spider-Man. We're going to Magical Girl anime on Magical Meatball Girls. And we're starting with Sailor Moon.
Interesting. What comes after Sailor Moon? How many magical girls are there?
Well, I know for sure Cardcaptor Sakura. Mm-hmm. And then there's some one-off stuff that I've been looking at.
Well, there's Madoka Magica.
Uh-huh.
And then there's, random shit. I would just watch Magical Girl Raising Project, which is okay.
And then there's Slayers we could always go back to because we did what's it called? A pilot episode on the Patreon covering that.
I mean, there are a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. Even Sailor Moon. What's up?
What constitutes a magical girl anime?
Nicole?
I don't know. A girl that changes into, has a change sequence and has like magical powers.
I'm just wondering, like, does One Punch Man count as a magical girl anime? I think I could make that argument.
No, because he doesn't have like
secret identity?
there isn't like a
transformation
a literal
sequence.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Like there needs to be that henshin, as it's called, in order for it to be that. And, you need a secret identity. There's usually like a mentee. Is there a mentee in One Punch Man?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a cat or a tiny animal?
No, he's like a cyborg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or no, that follows suits. It might be magical girl adjacent, I'd say.
But don't they call him just like a superhero?
Yeah, but they don't know like his regular life.
No, so it might just be a superhero show opposed to a magical girl show.
I think that we're just one animation sequence away from having One Punch Man be a magical girl anime.
It could be, yeah.
That's his superpower. He can punch.
There is a season of Digimon where the humans are the Digimon, like they transform, and people do say like, yeah, that is technically magical girl. Yeah.
Digimon is another one of those shows where like they were just like ahead of their time.
Yeah,
they were just doing
it rocks.
They were doing weird shit way before weird shit was cool.
Yeah.
You see this tiny little dinosaur thing? We're gonna make it into like a sexy angel girl.
Yeah.
In a couple episodes. Stay tuned.
Get those pants ready to brick, baby.
Oh my god.
Get your reusable shirts ready.
First of all, I used my entire tissue supply on Shigo. That was my awakening. So, impossible.
Oh, yeah. My awakening was Nicole. I saw her and
That's
I said,
a fucking lie.
I'm awake for the first time.
You said it was like Misty.
Yeah, Misty. I think like in reality of like who was like, holy shit, that's a woman, I think was Sarah Silverman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, Sarah Silverman? Just like hot.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Tina Fey?
Yeah. But Sarah Silverman's a peak, like number one.
That is hilarious. Wow.
Yeah.
I did not think we would find kinship today over Sarah Silverman.
I know. That was like my first big celeb. Like I'm like a man now, and and by man I mean like 12 years old. But no, yeah, Sarah Silverman, hot TT.
In what context did you see Sarah Silverman?
Usually the Sarah Silverman show, program, I mean. And then, like School of Rock would have been an early one. But it was probably just Comedy Central Presents because I actually know, probably the Crohn's stuff. I'd always wake up with a stomach ache or just craving milk for some weird reason. So I would have to like calm down and I would just watch what's on. Oh, stand-up specials on Comedy Central. So it was probably that. If she had one, and she had to have.
That's quite the journey.
Uh-huh.
Do you have an opinion on Sarah Silverman?
She's cool.
You don't think she's hot, TT?
I think she's fine.
You don't think she's a stone cold fox?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you think you're a stone cold fox?
No.
Okay, Nicole cannot be trusted on this subject, okay?
Yeah, no, it's just...
She just said 2 stone cold foxes weren't stone cold foxes.
Credibility is just out the window.
Oh my God. Come on, Nicole.
And also like Tina Fey just like reminds me of like my mom kind of.
No weird shit. Can I meet your mom? If you're telling me your mom is Tina Fey adjacent like that.
My mom is hot.
I don't think Suzanne Summers, right? Yeah. Suzanne Summers from Step by Step. I don't think she's attractive because she reminds me of your mom.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like not in looks. I mean, sort of like hair, I guess, but in how they act. So
Sure.
I just imprint like that's a mom.
Your
Yeah.
mom looks like this woman?
No.
But specifically from Step by Step, and you have to watch 160 episodes of Step by Step within like a month and a half to really
You're saying like her
take
personality.
it in. Yeah. In that reminds me of your
Yeah.
mom.
I've never heard of Step by Step. What?
Dude,
It's
you
like
gotta
a Full House knockoff?
No. No. Also,
No.
hey, put that phone in front of you, and then while you talk, no, like this. Yeah, there you go. Then you can talk into the microphone.
There we go. Okay, cool. Technology.
But it rocks. Nicole and I were super obsessed with it 2 years ago. The best Thanksgiving I've ever had was eating this delicious chili that you made, right?
I don't remember.
So it was delicious chili.
If it was chili, you probably made it.
It was delicious chili. Nicole
yes,
gets the
because
credit.
the year before I cooked, because your mom and stepdad came over.
The year after that, yeah. And then I had the Hot Ones last dab sauce, so I was putting that in the chili, and it was just like, ooh, baby.
Do you still have that?
I've run out of it. And
Okay.
oh no, I would put it in all my soups and chilies, like a little dab of it, and it perfectly heats it, and it tastes so good. But just devouring chili, super stoned, watching Step by Step for I think like 8 hours is the best Thanksgiving of my life.
That sounds incredible.
Uh-huh.
I've had chili twice in my life. One was regular chili, not a fan. And then one was in Ohio. They have a thing called Skyline chili,
Spaghetti and chili.
but they put chocolate in it.
Oh, okay.
It was good.
You've
Yeah.
only had chili twice?
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh, okay.
I have chili dogs, I guess.
Okay, because you love Sonic, the Hedgehog, and the restaurant.
This is a Tails household.
Oh, I mean, it's still the same.
No, not actually. It's the purple thing, the chameleon.
Yeah, the Slinky probably. I don't know.
There we go.
We got to quickly run through these notes. They have like a rose and skull arrow, I believe. We took these notes like 3 weeks ago when the original guest, who was comatose, horrorcore icon and legend. So I don't remember why I wrote down rose and skull arrow.
Okay.
Poison doesn't get bigger, so like if the crocodile had gotten poisoned and grew bigger, he wouldn't still be poisoned.
Right.
Because, his blood gets bigger, but the poison doesn't.
Yeah. Obviously.
Also, why did Crocodile Man get bigger, but not the doctor?
The doctor?
The doctor got shot with the same arrows.
Oh, no. So they can just decide to grow big.
Yeah.
Okay, that's some crazy plot armor.
Mm-hmm.
And then throughout this entire episode, the kids are just like picking on the other kids. The like ones who want to be in this detective thing because they're like, oh, this is like gonna go nowhere. We need to actually study and shit. But being a detective is a job. So
Yeah.
if you are learning those skills as a kid to like do these small things and you're committed to be like, you want to know what, when I grow up, it's 1978. So when they graduate in 1985, being a detective is still a like respected job.
It's a transferable skill.
Yeah. But like, oh, I'm cramming math into things. You end up becoming an artist.
Yeah.
Ouch. Accurate.
That was a callback to a previous conversation.
Did you do any detective work as a kid, Nicole?
I think we probably we played detective. And I remember adults laughing and thinking it was funny that we would be like, where were you on the day of yesterday at this time? Yes, 100%.
I'd be annoyed with it.
Yeah. So yeah,
I was more of a bug hunter. That was my occupation. That's the first time I got rejected, actually. I was at the park.
By a bug?
No, by a person.
Okay.
It'd be a little bit sadder if I was this ladybug was like, not you. No, there's this girl at the playground. She looks kind of nice, and so I was like, I'm gonna fill this bucket with worms and give it to her because
it's never worms. Worms will never get, like, if you found a moth, ladies love moths.
I'm learning. I learned that a little late in life. So there I go, like spending like 30 minutes of like worm digging, like some good solid worm digging.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then like I'm holding like the coolest thing ever, which is a bucket of worms, and I go hand it to her. And she like screams and runs off into the distance, and I'm just sitting there with my sadness, wondering how this did not work.
But then you realize, hey, I have the greatest thing in my hand, a bucket of worms.
Yes. They were all named Pete.
He was a bug hunter. I was a bug chaser. And neither of you know what a bug chaser is?
You like to get sick?
Pretty much. A specific kind of sickness. And then the only thing I ever detected as a kid was all the bullshit the adults were saying.
And see, I was a bug fighter.
Okay.
So me and my brother put a spider and an ant in a tank together.
I see.
And they fought to the death. The spider died.
Okay.
And then we felt really bad and we buried it and made a little cross out of toothpicks.
All right.
Wait, the spider fought who and lost?
An ant.
That's crazy.
It was really small spider.
Oh.
See, what I thought you were going to say was you were a bug fighter. We'd go to our neighbors and say, hey, can you honey, I shrunk me. And then he'd shrink you down and then you would literally fight bugs.
No. Also,
I'd watch that
ants notoriously strong, so it makes sense.
Uh-huh. They can carry 100 times over their weight. But, hey, guys, we're not done yet of this episode. Any more thoughts real quick?
No, we got to ask Ocean
Yes.
the thing.
Spider-Man, generally in most pop culture, he got bit by a radioactive spider, got powers akin to a spider. So if you were to be bitten by any radioactive kind of animal, what animal would you want it to be? What kind of powers would you have? And how would you use them to take down the Iron Cross Army?
I would want to be bit by a radioactive sea bear.
Oh, what's a sea bear?
Tardigrades? So they're
yeah.
super microscopic. I mean, you could technically see them with the naked eye, but they're like these little grubs. They got like 6 little feeties and armies. And scientists have discovered they can like survive in space. They're pretty metal. They like dehydrate themselves and like kind of like reverse, turn into kind of like a feeble state.
You want to be bit by that guy?
That's the SpongeBob thing.
That's sea bear.
I might not be into water bear. Sorry, water bear.
I'm seeing. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They're the cutest things on the face of the earth. What are you talking about?
No, it looks like a potato if a potato had all the eyes.
Right, the cutest thing in the world.
No, go back to a bucket of worms.
Potato is the best starch.
I've only seen it as like an artist made it into like miniatures, minifigures.
Yeah, you're talking about Doomco Designs, I think.
Probably.
He's the guy who does the big tardigrade, yeah.
But what sea bear, water bear abilities would you have to take down the Iron Cross Army?
Oh yeah.
I could survive in space, so like I would just like put them all in a school bus and then
Open the windows.
launch that bus into space, and then I'd be like, take that. It'd be sponsored by Elon Musk at that point because he puts cars into space.
Uh-huh. And Katy Perry's. No, wait, no, that's Bezos.
Wait, Jeff Bezos sponsored that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a whole embarrassing scenario.
I salute to Katy Perry, astronaut extraordinaire. Last I checked, Neil Armstrong kissed a girl and didn't like it. He said, yucky. I'd rather be in space right now, kissing alien babes,
Okay.
not human ladies. But then Katy Perry, she says, I kissed a girl and I did like it. So much so, I made it a song and made billions off from, eroticizing lesbianism.
So you mentioned, what was her name? Mila
Coppola, if that is her name.
No, from
Oh,
Ultraviolet.
Mila Jovovich.
Yes. She was also in Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Best movie ever.
We haven't seen it.
Hang on.
Okay, listen. It's one of those movies where we're like, it's so like, up there that we're like, we need to be in the perfect
I
scenario
cannot
to
believe
watch
you guys
this
have
movie.
not
Yeah.
watched Fifth Element.
It's one that and Total Recall are two we haven't seen.
Okay, but I'm in the same boat with you on Total Recall.
Yeah. Nicole hasn't seen T2. I know.
First of all, I'm a little impressed that I knew what T2 was.
Oh, no, everyone knows what T2 was. 1990s, it was the
I
summer of T2.
I feared that I didn't, but
Okay, and then it quickly...
Yeah, it came in. Wow, okay, yeah, you guys need to cancel your plans and pop on for the Fifth Element.
Sofia Coppola.
That's what I thought, yeah. But I was like, no.
Well,
Yeah.
then now I can't make my Fifth Element reference because you guys haven't seen the movie.
Yeah. She got 3 titties or something.
No, but it also has Chris Tucker in it, who's like the most incredible human.
Yeah. And I think like one of the, maybe a Trancers guy wrote that, or maybe it was one of the bullshit. RoboCop dude who also did Starship Troopers. I think he did Fifth Element, or it was Total Recall. I don't remember.
I love Starship Troopers. Would you like to know more
About Starship Troopers?
No, that's what they say.
Oh, okay. I don't. Oh, yeah, they do always say that.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
Then you see them hogs out in the shower room.
Yeah.
Ha-cha-cha-cha. Ocean, thank you so much for being here.
I'm just having a great time. Let's keep going.
No, I need to edit this tonight to be out tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we can't have 2-hour-long podcasts anymore, listeners.
Because James keeps adding podcasts to his repertoire.
No, I don't. No, it's because if everyone was on patreon.com/MLM pod, I wouldn't need a job and I could just focus on this.
He gets like one day where he has like one podcast to edit, okay? In like a month. He gets like one day and he's like, I don't have enough stuff to do. I should start 3 more podcasts.
Well, no, and then next
and then he's
day,
like, fuck, I have so much stuff to do. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I said embrace the one day and just chill.
The reason is because like all of a sudden R2 Shelby 2 over on twitch.tv/R2Shelby2 and the ROM Complex will be like, hey, yeah, like
Shelby is a fucking queen.
No, Shelby will
shut
say,
your mouth.
hey, Sam and I will be out of town for a month. We had to bank 2 months of podcasts in 2 days. Here's that many episodes. And I'm like, oh, good. So then I have to edit a bunch, and then Steve sends me something.
Which is why you don't need more podcasts.
No, but I need more people editing work, so, I make money off from that. But hey, guys, head over to patreon.com/MLM pod. However, first, Ocean, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
I guess just check out my Instagram. It's at Ocean Muerto, at Ocean_Muerto.
Heck yeah.
And catch me in a show outside.
Nicole?
Follow Darling Homebody on social medias and go to darlinghomebody.com to find cool stuff that I make, especially this Saturday, May 17th. It's everything. Well, most of the stuff will be 20% off, and I'll be on twitch.tv/darlinghomebody just playing video games until my eyes explode.
Oh, yeah.
Soon to include 3D printed shenanigans.
Oh, I don't know how to put that on Twitch.
You just film it.
No, I meant like the stuff that you're going to make to put on the website.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys, listen to my other podcasts like Death to Squid, Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, This Movie's Gay. It is back as a monthly podcast, as well as I can announce now the height of horror. Presley and I are going to be back once a month discussing, we're still in 1991, discussing horror movies year by year. And then listen to my music under Marshland Monster, wherever music is found. We're starting up another project. I'm producing some stuff for Crazy 8 the Snapcase, former guest of this, and the former guest of the Citizens of Townsville Z over on patreon.com/MLM pod, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content every single Friday. This Friday, I believe, will be another episode of the Citizens of Townsville Z with R2 Shelby 2 and Sam from the ROM Complex discussing the episode where Mojo Jojo and Miss Keen go on a date. Ooh la la. Will there be kissing? Will there be hugging? Will there be misunderstandings? Find out over on patreon.com/MLM pod. And $10 patrons get all of that, plus a monthly bonus exclusive content in the form of Straight to Patreon. Last month we discussed Sailor Suit and Machine Gun with Torchy Berry and Sean Marciniak of Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. And $10 patrons get shoutouts on every single free feed podcast. Let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z. The Waz, Orion, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua Jacobs, Steve Barnes, a Sweet Child of Time, and Introvoid, my mother, Lil Corey's BFF, and now former roommate Shane from twitch.tv/Core Winning. It's Corwin from the ROM Complex, as well as Formulaic, a podcast and script writing. It's twitch.tv/R2 Shelby 2, and from Speed Radio, a podcast and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. It's Tay, aka Zinny D. I've been James.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Ocean.
And we've been Mostly Speaking Sentai. Bye-bye.
Peace. Bye.
Toodaloos. This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCollum. For more content, please visit mlmpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today. Oh, yeah.